आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
नमस्कार,
वनक्कम,
नमस्कार,
खुशामदीद,
अस्सलामुअलैकुम,
सत श्री अकाल,
మీకు అందరికీ వందనము,
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय जिनेंद्र,
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोल दे या अली मदद।
मौला अली मदद बोलते हुए सारे फीजिए बंधु बोलेंगे नीसा बोला बलजान, हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा। मैं सिर्फ फालतू बाबा
And of course, myself, फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और ड्राइव टाइम that's going to be totally exciting and totally मस्तानी बंद जाने।
I know बलजान, वीकेंड में क्या हो गया, I know exactly क्या हो गया बलजान। थैंक्सगिविंग खत्म हो गया एंड अभी और केसेस आने वाले हैं बोल के हमारे फौजी साहब बोल रहे हैं एंड वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट probably there's a spike in the cases as well because Santa Clara County has clamped down further with one more regulation about or rather directive about what people have to be doing if at all they're traveling as well. More details about that will come in our news blog for sure Barjan, लेकिन अभी के लिए आपको बोलने की we'll see what's happening on the roads with our रास्ते का हाल which we provide you absolutely सस्ते में।
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Alright, Baja, quick look at the roads and what's happening with the weather as well for you guys. Thandi hai Bandujan. It is winter right now already, so we have a cold weather for today as well as the forecast. The lowest is going to be 40, highest is going to be 64. Currently, if you're wondering what it's going to be, it's an average 51 actually. Now, stay warm. Layer up is what I would suggest. It's going to be sunny all day. It doesn't mean there's not going to be cold. It's going to be sunny and cold at the same time. So probably layer up and go out for sure. And luckily we don't have too many clouds and rains are happening in this particular part. Probably midweek we might get some clouds and probably some rain as well. Now if you actually are people who actually believe in vaccinating for the flu and everything, seasonal flu, probably get it done right away is what they're saying. If you want to wait for the vaccines going to come up for COVID-19, probably next year is what they're saying. But let's see what happens. We'll check out the news on the updates on that as well. But the jump and yes, Trump has been tweeting left, right, and center. News item? I don't think so. It's like, he's so yesterday right now, so nobody wants to do this about his tweet. I'm not following his tweet anymore. Faltoni, of course, is an ardent follower of his tweet, so she
No, I'm not.
Okay, so she's saying that she's not. Well, but let's see what's in the roads. Okay, an accident on 92 eastbound at 880 intersection. The lane is blocked over there, but not much of an impact on traffic. That's a good thing because the roads are still having the COVID-19 situation right about the jump. And 880 is reporting an hazard on the exit of 82. San Jose, the right lanes actually is affected over there. Watch out for that. There was another report, but actually is being cleared up right now. There's a little bit of residual delay on the East Palo Alto side, getting onto the Dumbarton Bridge, which generally is standard in those cases. But otherwise, all the other freeways are kind of open. Not much of traffic. Inlands, of course, if you go a little bit into cities, probably it's kind of congested right now. Yeah, and based on the new directive, what's going to happen to schools, we don't know. We probably will get the information for you guys during the day because as of midnight, there was some fresh directives passed on by the Santa Clara County, which actually said that people traveling more than 150 miles away from home, when they come back, they're being asked and requested to do self-quarantine for 14 days. How it's going to be implemented, we don't know, but I believe we'll have some information on how they're doing this in the news blog, mediamahima.com. Right now, Vadoni, are we ready with some news for our bandus or headlines for our bandus?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, Bandujan, we share the headlines with you guys of what's happening around the world and also in the US, Bandujan. So stay tuned. And if you want to catch up in detail about the headlines, also we share with you guys on air, go to check out mediamahima.com. And quickly, a big hello, good morning to all our bandus listening to us right now on Facebook. Tarsem ji, hi, good morning to you. Anil ji, good morning to you as well. Thank you for the wonderful compliment. Deepak ji and Deepak ji saying happy Monday. Oh yeah, happy Monday to you too, Deepak ji. It's good. Hey, Trump is out of the office. Oh, not almost. He's almost out of the office, and things are looking up. There's a vaccine. What do you call that? The vaccine almost in the offing. Around the horizon, we can see the vaccine coming up over there. So everything is good. But yes, a lot of struggles to go on right now. Let's see, Faltani, what's headlines?
Well, Altubaba, the first headline is obviously with regard to the post-Thanksgiving coronavirus surge, even with vaccines within immediate reach. The US CDC is reporting 265,166 deaths from the coronavirus. There's a new Santa Clara County travel quarantine order in effect, which we will share shortly. Santa Clara County issued over 75 business fines for COVID-19 violations over Thanksgiving weekend. While all this is happening, while the nation is again beginning to clamp down, Badjan, there is talk of the vaccine being distributed, but Democrat Chuck Schumer says $30 billion in federal funds needed to distribute the COVID vaccine. U.S. Congress races to avoid a December government shutdown amid the pandemic. Biden picks a diverse team of top economic advisors. Georgia official announces a probe into the third-party groups trying to register people illegally. And while that is happening, the recount in Wisconsin County, all of us know who are following the news, this was demanded by Trump and his campaign. That actually increased Joe Biden's margin. Supreme Court justices are now grilling Trump lawyer over illegal immigrant census case. Democracy darkens in some parts of the world, like at Hong Kong, where activists in Hong Kong are reeling from major authoritarian Chinese moves. Facebook nears a deal to buy the chatbot startup Customer. Amazon and Apple stay away from the new French initiative to set principles for big tech. China has granted Tesla the green light to start selling Shanghai-made Model Y SUVs. In updates from India with regard to the farmers, we will bring you the farmers' protest live updates as well, because security in Delhi has stepped up as farmers threaten to block entry points. And finally, in news from Tinseltown, the famous Ashiki hero Rahul Roy over the weekend suffered a brain stroke. And he's right now, the update that we have is that please keep him in your prayers. He is responding to treatment, but his right side is completely affected. So we'll bring you more on all this shortly. Should we go into the headlines, Altapapa?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's
go into the news in detail, or do we have a Gane Ka Kida?
I do have a Gane Ki right now. First of all, I want to wish everybody out there who are celebrating Nanak Jayanti, because today happens to be Guru Nanak Jayanti, and it's a wonderful celebration for everybody out there. Wishing all us bandhus who actually follow Nanak Sahib, and also who are part of the Sikh religion, a very happy day for them. And in that memory, Faldoni, I have a nice song, which actually I've heard this song only once or twice. It actually released in 2018. It's a Punjabi song. It's about it's sung by what's his name, Diljit Dosanjh.
Okay.
I think before he got into the in debuting into Bollywood,
Okay.
he was actually a Punjabi pop star, right? There's a beautiful song called Dhan Guru Nanak.
Oh, okay.
Let's listen to the song. I'll be back, Panjan, right after this.
है एक दिन पानी धरती ने मुक जाना क्यों साइंस चल पई मारदी है ए सोने रंगी धरती उत्ते सोना ही उगना है कदों किरत दे सूरज ने हाय डोबिया डुबना है हो कोई सियासत वट्टां उत्ते अक नहीं ला सकदी गुरु नानक दे खेतां चों बरकत नहीं जा सकदी बाबा मच्छियां चराउंदा दिसदा ए पानी खेतां नूं लाउंदा दिसदा ए हट सच दी चलाउंदा दसदा ए नाल लंगर छकाउंदा दसदा ए बाबा मच्छियां चराउंदा दसदा ए
यार क्या है ले तेरा मुंह आज गुरु नानक देव जी का जन्मदिन है
रुख कदे ना वड्डो ते ना मारो धीआं नूं मेणे मिलदे रहणे आ सरहंद दियां नीहां नूं क्यों वीत कौकियां वालिया बदली मत नहीं जा सकदी ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਬਾਬਾ ਮੱਝੀਆਂ ਚਰਾਉਂਦਾ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਏ ਪਾਣੀ ਖੇਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਏ ਹੱਟ ਸੱਚ ਦੀ ਚਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਏ ਨਾਲ ਲੰਗਰ ਛਕਾਉਂਦਾ ਲੰਗਰ ਛਕਾਉਂਦਾ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਏ ਬਾਬਾ ਮੱਝੀਆਂ ਚਰਾਉਂਦਾ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਏ
A beautiful song celebrating this day, Bajan. And yes, if at all you are waiting to listen to news updates right now, Bajan, here you go. We're going to jump into the news updates for you guys right now. And yes, if you want to catch up in detail about the news we share with you guys because you missed out something of the news we're sharing with you guys because you had to do something else or navigate a turn or, I don't know, flip on a page in your file or, log on to your Zoom meeting. I don't know, whatever it is. Come back to our news blog, mediamahima.com. You can also listen to our broadcast on Facebook page on demand. If you go check it out on facebook.com/Radio Day Hotties. Once again, that's facebook.com/Radio Day Hotties. And this is Radio Day Hotties network presentation with Jan on the exclusive airwaves of Radio Mirchi 1310 AM and also 92.9 FM in the Oakland and Fremont area. And right now, Jan, this is the news.
After a Thanksgiving weekend when the number of people traveling through U.S. airports reached its highest since mid-March, a top government official said on Monday some Americans could begin receiving coronavirus vaccinations before Christmas. U.S. Health Secretary Alex Azar said Pfizer Inc.'s COVID-19 vaccine could be authorized and shipped within days of a December 10th meeting of outside advisors to the FDA tasked with reviewing trial data and recommending whether it warrants approval. Also, a vaccine from Moderna Inc. could follow a week later, he said, after the company announced today that it would apply for US and European emergency authorization, and their vaccine is 94.1% effective. In the meanwhile, let us tell you, Panjan, that the CDC, the US CDC, on Sunday is reported that a total of 13,142,997 cases of new coronavirus, an increase of 143,333 from its previous count, and said the number of deaths had risen by 1,210 more people dying, which raised the numbers of people who died from the coronavirus to 265,166. The CDC reported its tally of cases of the respiratory illness known as COVID-19 caused by coronavirus as of 4 p.m. Eastern Time on November 28th, compared with its previous report a day earlier. In the meanwhile, let's tell you what's going on in Santa Clara County, Bandajan. We hear in Santa Clara County, the rush was on Sunday night for out-of-town travelers to get back home to Santa Clara County as a new mandatory travel directive went into effect at midnight last night. The order requires that travelers arriving in the county from more than 150 miles away have to, this is mandatory, quarantine for 2 weeks. But how will the county enforce such a broad order? Airports are going to be a key component of the new order, as it will be up to them to post signs and educate passengers about the new requirement. Passengers will be given a written copy of the directive upon landing. As people return to Santa Clara County after Thanksgiving holiday travel, for some, getting home seemed a little more urgent because the new quarantine order applies to people who have traveled more than 150 miles from Santa Clara County, not from California. Please keep that in mind. It's going to be tough on folks. I hope it's a short-term situation, and I hope it's worth the weight of the situation, said a resident of Santa Clara County. There are some exceptions, such as for people who perform an essential government function, but so far it appears that the county will not be tracking whether people will quarantine and will instead notify travelers ahead of the policy. And some people who need to travel for work are wondering, what are we going to do about this, about work? Are we supposed to travel or not? So So there's a lot of uncertainty that's in the air, so that's something else that we need to keep track of. In the meanwhile, Santa Clara County tallied a record of 512 COVID-19 cases in a 24-hour period.
Wow.
The day before Thanksgiving, wasted no time cracking down on businesses who are violating health orders. As of November 27, Santa Clara County had 32,985 COVID-19 cases and about 476 deaths. In addition, 222 people were hospitalized with the virus. Of these, 68 were in ICUs, and 193 out of 642 people had ventilators that were in use. The soaring case rate raised alarm among health officials as hospitals brace to admit more patients. More than 75 businesses were issued fines to make sure that they fix issues before being fired and before being fined again. And they've been told that Santa Clara County, if you're a business owner and you are not adhering to some of the guidelines, please watch out, because they're saying they're promising to crack down on these businesses. In the meanwhile, there's a report that Times of India did, Bandhajan, where they're criticizing China for their vaccine, diplomacy, apparently. Amid widespread criticism for its mishandling of the COVID-19 outbreak, China has been trying hard to change the global narrative with vaccine diplomacy. However, lack of public data about its COVID vaccines, promising alternatives, and a snub by ASEAN members have signaled that most of the world may not choose to tread the ambitious health Silk Road laid by China. The first hiccup came recently when questions arose over the efficacy of China's front-runner vaccine candidate following initial clinical trials. The results revealed that while Sinovac Biotech's experimental vaccine CoronaVac triggered an immune response, the level of antibodies produced was lower compared to people who had recovered from the disease. The moderate results came in stark contrast to US firms Moderna and Pfizer declaring their candidate was over 90% effective in late-stage trials. In the meanwhile, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said on Sunday that $30 billion in federal funds was going to be needed to distribute the COVID-19 vaccine as legislative negotiations over an economic relief bill remain stalled. Schumer, a Democrat, said that New York State alone would need hundreds of millions for distribution and work around the distribution of the vaccine. This should be a moment of clarity for everyone, said Schumer, who represents New York. In the meanwhile, let's also tell you that from India, Bandhajan, there is an update about the farmers' strike. Thousands of farmers are braving the bitter cold and the police force to protest against the centre's new agriculture laws and have hunkered down on the outskirts of the nation's capital in signs that they are settling in for the long haul. But why are farmers unhappy with the legislations, and what do they seek? We will post that snapshot that was put together by Reuters and Times of India, and we'll put it up on mediamahima.com. You can go and check it out. That's all we have time for on this morning's Good Morning Bay. We'll be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show with a live show, so don't forget to tune in at 5 p.m. In the meanwhile, happy Guru Purab to everybody celebrating. Happy Kartika Masam, right? For everybody celebrating, and have yourselves a safe, wonderful, magnificent Monday.
ਬਾਬਾ ਮੱਝੀਆਂ ਚਰਾਉਂਦਾ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਏ ਪਾਣੀ ਖੇਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਏ ਹੱਟ ਸੱਚ ਦੀ ਚਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਏ ਨਾਲੇ ਲੰਗਰ ਛਕਾਉਂਦਾ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਏ ਬਾਬਾ ਮੱਝੀਆਂ ਚਰਾਉਂਦਾ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਏ
यार क्या है ले तेरा मुंह आज गुरु नानक देव जी का जन्मदिन है